Welcome to the NOFSRL. Eight races remain here in the 2022 NOFSRL Trinity River Cup Series. We arrive here after last week's race at the Pocono Raceway to the Milwaukee Mile for the very first time here in the state of Wisconsin. For race number 19 of 26, we arrive here at this 1 mile track for the Culver's 500K. We had an interesting race, although pretty tame one last week. Did not see any yellow flags. This is another flatter track, although it's not 2.5 miles long. It's only 1 mile and a pretty much perfectly symmetrical oval, so we'll see how it goes here in our first trip to the Milwaukee Mile. Not the first trip to the state of Wisconsin. We got Road America coming up here in a couple races, so we'll be back up here in Wisconsin. We're looking forward to that. Very much so. But real quick, let's take a look at the point standings coming in before we get started here. Kyle McLeese still leads the way, 544 points towards the championship. He is now only 79 points ahead of Nicholas Samadeo. I say only 79 points, with the maximum swing being 44. That's still a huge lead, but it is getting smaller. It has gotten smaller in the last couple races, so we'll have to see if it continues to shrink today. Trey Wright is 90 back, Kanan Biller 99 back, Alejandro Cruz Jr. 107 back, Brock Nelson 119 back, Elijah Gordon 129 back, Mitchell Henderson 132 back, Colin Teague 137 back, and Caleb Rose is 10th. He is 146 points behind Kyle McLeese. We are ready to get it going here at the Milwaukee Mile, so let's go down truck side. We'll get you a starting lineup so we can get to the show on the road.
Start your engine! Alright, take a nice big deep
And
breath.
the engines fire here at the Milwaukee Mile. 40 going to roll off the pit road. It is six-time winner of the series, Kanan Biller on the pole position there, starting alongside Mitchell Henderson, the 88. In row number 2, we find Marty Sakala there in the Ally number 84, starting alongside Chase Harrison, the 23, the Valvoline Toyota there. In row number 3, we find Colin Teague in the 97, starting alongside the 24 of Elijah Gordon. Row number 4, we find Braden Perez in the 47, starting alongside the 00 of Brock Nelson, William Brock rather. Rounding out the top 10, we find Christian Vargas in the 46, starting alongside Trey Wright in the 95. That's the top 10 here in West Allis, Wisconsin. We are ready to go racing here for the first time for 63 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile, the famous 1 mile racetrack. We are ready to get it going here in race 19. 8 races remain in 2022 in this season of the Trinity River Cup Series. We're ready to get it going. Green flag is out. The Culver's 500K is green. Let's get this show on the road at the Milwaukee Mile. Oh, big trouble, turn 4, car to the outside wall very hard. Alex Lozano and Roberto Crown Jr. and several others spinning onto the front straightaway. Blake Parker, John Andrews, Will Parrish, I believe, got a piece as well. And just like that, first caution of the race is out here at the Milwaukee Mile. Violent accident coming out of turn number 4 just at the end of lap 1. Kanan Biller, the pole sitter, led the field back around, and we were expecting to see a one-stop race with the cycles coming at the end of about lap 40 or so. And while the field continues to sort itself out, we'll see if anybody comes down the pit road here. Yes, indeed. Biller, Teague, Henderson, and Sakala will. We'll see about everybody else now that they are starting to get sorted out and into a single file line. Very early on here. It's only lap 3 now as the leaders cross the start-finish line. See just about everybody else coming down the pit road, so it'll make this a 2-stopper now for the rest of the way here at the Milwaukee Mile. We'll join back up with the leaders to see who wins the race off pit road. Looks as though it was Colin Teague ahead of Kane and Biller, then Henderson and Sakala. Gordon ahead of Perez. But still a violent wreck coming out of turn number 4 on the opening lap. It'll still be Kane and Biller actually leading the way ahead of Colin Teague. But a ferocious pileup coming out of turn number 4 involving at least 4 or 5 cars. We'll take Roberto Crown Jr., the 27, out of the race. He got up on top of the safer barrier after going pretty much head on into the outside wall. You see the skid marks lead right up to the wall, and then other cars were spinning there on the front straightaway. So we'll go back and take a look at the replay and see what happened, and we'll bring you right back for the restart here in the Culver's 500K at Milwaukee. So watching from overhead, heading off into turn number 1, Lozano takes a peek to the inside of John Andrews. Andrews goes for the block, and they get together, slide sideways. Roberto Crown Jr. gets down on the curb there. Troxel in the middle of that. Parker tries to fire it in. They're basically 5 wide at this point, and it's just too tight for comfort. Andrews gets in behind Lozano. Lozano comes down on Blake Parker, and the accordion effect there sends Roberto Crown Jr. hard into that outside wall along the safer barrier. Now Andrews goes down and takes Parker spinning into the outside wall. Lozano also involved deep in the field. McLeese actually gets a piece there off the pirouetting number 14 and will perish a little bit from the 5 of John Andrews. So half a dozen cars involved in this one here at the Milwaukee Mile. Let's take another look at full speed. So as they come through turn 3 and 4, you see Andrews and Lozano slide up. Parker, Troxel in the middle. Crown on the inside. It's just too tight and into the wall hard go Lozano and Crown, and then spinning on the front straightaway, Parker, Andrews, and then Parrish and McLeese also get a piece of that. And that is what brought out an early caution here at the Milwaukee Mile. Kane and Biller leads the field around. He'll lead the field to the green flag here at the Milwaukee Mile. Track is clear, we're good to go, so let's head to the restart here in the Culver's 500K. Got the one to go this time through here at the Milwaukee Mile. Welcome back to your live coverage of the Culver's 500K here on the Trinity River Network in the Race 19 of the 2022 NOFSRL Trinity River Cup Series. Caution number 1 coming out on lap number 2 for a violent multi-car incident coming out of turn number 4 just at the end of lap 1, taking Roberto Crown Jr. out of the race. Other cars were involved. Alex Lozano was among them. You've seen the replay just a minute ago, and you've seen what happened, and the end result is 1 car out of the race, everybody else still on the racetrack. It's Kane and Biller, the pole sitter, leading the way. Colin Teague 2nd, Mitchell Henderson there in 3rd, Marty Sakala 4th, Elijah Gordon 5th, and then Perez, William Brock, Vargas, Wright, and Cruz Jr. round out the top 10. Green flag back out here at Milwaukee. Biller, a good restart. Henderson trying to take a peek to the inside of Teague. Perez right to the inside of Gordon on the restart. And Vargas down low on William Brock. Brock slips on that outside line. And here comes Teague for the lead on Kane and Biller, headed off into turn number 3. Side by side through the corner. Biller slipping on that outside. They're on new tires. And we'll see what line works coming out of turn number 4. Biller with a big run at the line. Biller led at the stripe, but into one. Teague trying to work it on the inside. Biller with the advantage, but Teague powers back out of turn number 2 at corner exit. Down the back straightaway, swings down low into turn number 3. Biller tries to work it on the outside. He gets a little loose, and Teague will take the lead here in the Culver's 500K at Milwaukee. Move Biller back to 2nd. Henderson to 3rd, Sekela 4th, Perez 5th. Perez coming in 39th in the point standings after falling out early. Well, not falling out, but falling a lap down at Pocono early 1 week ago. Slipped back 4 more positions in the standings. PHR not having a good season at all, that entire team. So Perez running up front right now, trying to work his way back up in standings and carry his team on his back here in the Culver's 500K. Sekela, Biller side by side there for second. Henderson up on the outside trying to push that 81 and have a chance to get around the 84 of Sekela, who is still trying to work that inside line. Henderson slips on the exit of turn number 2, though, and Sekela powers down to the inside of Kane and Biller. So we saw a pit cycle into that caution, so expect the next one to be about lap 42 or 43 before we see anybody come down the pit road. That is, of course, unless we get a caution before then. So things could very well change if that was to occur. But Colin Teague still leads the way, winner at Talladega earlier this year. He's looking for win number 2 on the season here in race 19 of this 26 race season. 8 races left before we crown a champion. And your championship leader, Kyle McLeese, 35th on the racetrack right now. His nearest rival, Nicholas Samadillo, runs 25th, so with a chance to continue to eat away at that points lead gradually the later we get into this season. We'll see what Samadillo can do today. Biller into second again. He's looking for the lead back from Colin Teague. He catches right back up to the back of the Powerade 97, rounding turn 4. Henderson looking low on Sekela. Sekela has the advantage on the high side. But Henderson going to dive it into turn 1, but not enough to get to the inside of that 84. So he'll be singled out through the first 5 positions. While Vargas and Gordon side by side back there for the 6th position on the racetrack. I know this is a flatter track, but you can actually get an outside line working in the turns. It'll be a while, obviously, once the tires are worn out, so it's going to take some time for that outside line to rubber in. But when it does, it pretty much becomes the dominant line here around this racetrack. So we'll have to see how this green flag run goes. Everybody staying very clean right now, all things considered. Perez going to go by Henderson there for the 4th position. We look a little deeper. Nicholas Samadillo stuck on the outside there in car number 98. Battling there with Priya McShane. McShane's in 26th position, now in 25th. And Samadillo moves back to 26th as a result of McShane getting around him, trying to keep Keegan Thompson, and that's 17 behind him so he doesn't lose any ground. Kyle McLeese, though, in 59, running in the 34th position at the moment. Colin Teague still leads the way here, the Culver's 500K at Milwaukee. Biller 2nd, Sekela 3rd, Perez 4th, Henderson 5th. Henderson's trying to work that outside on the 47, though, as William Brock slips up on Christian Vargas through the corner. That's the battle for 6th on the racetrack. And give 4th to Perez, and looks like we might be giving 7th to William Brock. So Vargas slips back there, and the lead is still Colin Teague. He's ahead by about 3/4 of a second ahead of the 81 of Kane and Biller. Perez and Henderson, however, still going at it for that 4th position. Henderson tried the outside again, not able to get there on the Schluter number 47 of Perez. So coming out of turn number 4 once again, Teague still leads Biller, Sekela, Perez, Henderson, looking a little deeper through the field. Last in the full-time points coming in, Mitchell Collins there in the 43, gets by on the inside of Jacob Thibodeau as Cruz has got onto the apron there in the 0-5. From 9th position, he might have gone a little sideways, holds on to it. Cruz joins back up into the racing line. But that stacks up this group here as Collins stuck in the middle between Andrew Williams and Sebastian Kukulon. Checking back up front real quick. Colin Teague still has the lead, but just a little over 0.8 of a second on Kanan Biller. Nelson loose there, holds on to it. That's the second time we've seen that. It was Cruz a little bit ago. It's the last time through, and now Brock Nelson's getting loose. They're going through turn 1 and 2. Now Samadio's on the outside, and Kyle McLeese right there on the inside of Samadio. Samadio wants to stay ahead at 57 to keep eating into the point lead, but McLeese right there. It's 57, I'm at 59 of Kyle McLeese. Aziz Garcia in the middle of that. A couple of Velocity cars actually. Caleb Rose in the 15. Velocity not off to a good start here in Milwaukee, but they had Thomas Troxel win at Pocono 1 week ago, and Troxel, maybe that was going to be the one bright spot of this season. He's back in 36 now as Parker now on the apron through turn 1 and 2. Slides sideways, puts McLeese up on the outside line. Will Parrish down there as well. Now Samadio trying to get to the inside of Caleb Rose in 15. On to lap number 21 we go here in the Culver's 500K. Teague now leads by a little over a second ahead of Kanan Biller. As 3 wide, a little further ahead there. That battle got awful tight coming off of turn number 2. McShane, Lightning, and Harris going at it there. For, I believe, that's 23rd on the racetrack. Make it 23rd. So McShane takes the spot away. Samadio still there side by side with Rose, now trying to power to the inside of Ace Garcia. That would be for 29th on the racetrack, and give it to Samadio. Heading off into turn number 3. Garcia's trying to work that outside, and will not. But Samadio's teammate Colin Teague still leads the way. Actually, his lead shrunk a little bit. Nope, it grew back. 1.16. It took a little bit there for scoring to update. It was under a second for a moment. Now it's 1.16 seconds still. The gap between Colin Teague and Kanan Biller. McShane there now stuck on the outside as 3 wide. Ethan Lewis, Daytona 500 winner, on the inside of that one for a moment. Colin Teague and Andrew Williams, Mitchell Collins, and Sebastian Kukulon battling there as Lewis gets pinned down on the apron through 1 and 2. He'll get back up into the racing groove. Samadio's right there behind this group. So he's got to be very, very careful with these cars. 2 rows of 3 wide there. This is some dangerous racing here at the Milwaukee Mile. Samadio's going to go to the inside of 3 wide into turn number 1. It works out for him. Doesn't work out for Keegan Thompson, though. He slips backwards. On the back straightaway once again. We'll look back up front. Colin Teague has led just about all the laps here in this green flag run. Kanan Biller still second. Sekela, Perez, Henderson. The top 5 has not changed very much at all, as his tires have continued to wear away here as this green flag run goes along. On the back straightaway once again. Into turn number 3. Collins there on the inside of Thibodeau. They're battling side by side for a 13th position. Give it to Collins. Now Kukulon trying to power down to the inside of Jacob Thibodeau for 14th. He's trying to take that spot away. Kukulon won on a track similar to this last year at Gateway. It was a flatter, although that's a 1.25 miles and not quite symmetrical. It was a flatter track. Kukulon knows how to find his way to victory lane on a big losing streak right now, though. Has only won that Gateway race 1 year ago. It has not won since, and he didn't win before that either. So trying to get back up into at least the top 10 as a 3 wide battle here for third manifests. between Perez, Sekela, and Henderson. Perez to the inside of the 84 and the 88. Sekela's in the middle, Henderson on the outside lane. They're still 3 wide coming through turn 3 and 4 and onto the main straightaway once again. It was Perez at the line, I believe. Yes. Oh, Perez sideways, though. Gets onto the apron. And is anything wrong with him? No. Pulls right back out onto the racetrack. I have no idea what happened there to that 47. But is Sekela now ahead of Henderson? There, he is now in the 3rd position. Henderson tries to fight back on the outside on corner exit. But Biller closing in to the backside of that 97 now as we get closer and closer to what will be the last pit cycle of the race here. It will be, since we're now at, we're going to be at 33 laps to go this next time through, so whenever they come down to the pits, they will not have to do it again. Since the window's 40 laps. So they'd be able to make it to the end even if they came down right now. Doesn't look like anybody is going to. Williams there battling with Brock Nelson. That is for the 9th position. Williams will get ahead there, and Cruz looks like he's going to sneak his way back up into the top 10 and maybe into 9th if he can get to the inside of Williams. Into turn number 3, not quite able to. So checking in back up front, Teague has checked out, obviously on this green flag run. The gap for the lead grew again, 0.96 the difference. The fastest lap of the race right now, Andrew Williams in the 50 with a 28.960. Williams currently stuck on the outside of Alejandro Cruz Jr. in that battle for 9th, and Cruz trying to go for 8th now on Christian Vargas. Rounding turn number 4 on the main straightaway once again. Williams going to thread the needle there 3 wide between Vargas and Cruz, and he's going to have the advantage between the two of them. What a pass! Headed off down the backstretch into turn number 3. Cruz tries to power down the inside again, not able to. Collins powers to the inside of Vargas. That is for 10th on the racetrack, and give it to Mitchell Collins. Right now on lap 34 of 63. Biller's trying to, he's closing in ever so slightly on Colin Teague, though. We'll see what the gap looks like this time through. Teague crosses the line, and Biller does the same. Closed in a little bit, 0.77 to 0.73. Here on lap 35 now. Sekela playing defense with Mitchell Henderson there in the 88 as the 88 tries to get around the 84. But a great exit off of turn number 2 for Sekela. Not so much for Henderson, so we'll hold on to that 3rd position for the moment. Rounding turn number 4 onto the main straightaway once again. As look who's starting to work his way up through the field there. Nicholas Samadio in the 98. Currently side by side with Christopher Alphaby for the 25th position on the racetrack. Kyle McLeese all the way back in 33rd. Smith there taking a dive on Stephen Colon just ahead of Samadio into turn 3 and 4. The defending series champion. That battle will continue. He might be able to get around the 99. But we are just a handful of laps away from seeing a pit cycle here. And the last pit cycle here at Milwaukee. Starting about lap 41 or lap 42. Teague still leads the way. Biller, everybody's up front, staying pretty well single file right now. Their tires are shot to bits. They're just trying to, they're just waiting to see when the first car goes down. And they're on their radio talking to their crew whether they want to do the undercut, the overcut, or just go right in between. What lap are they going to come down? And I believe this pit strategy is what's going to decide the win of this race unless a caution comes out during the cycle like it did at Gateway. Have to see what happens. Cruz tries to power to the outside of Collins there for ninth. Not able to. So Collins will hold on to that ninth position here. Coming to lap number 40. Checking back up front. Teague not coming down the pit road just yet. Gordon taking a look to the inside of William Brock. And behind, 3 wide. Back here for the 11th position. Sear, Durrani, and Brock Nelson going up. Brock Nelson sideways, slips out of the battle, and Sear will stay ahead of Durrani. Thibodeau gets into that 13th position from 14th. Hightower now 14th. Wright side by side now with Vargas for 15th as we come to the end of lap 40. And still none of the leaders have come down into the pits. We are getting closer and closer and closer. Speaking of closer and closer, Samadillo and McLeese are now 2 positions separated. Samadillo has slipped all the way back to the 30th position now. Chase Harris is 31st, and Kyle McLeese is 32nd. Teague still has not come down the pit road. We'll see about this next time through, though. It's lap 42 right now, and at the end of lap 2, under that caution, the cars came down. It was at the start of lap 3, and everybody came down the pit road. The window's right about 40 laps. And you just see how slow Teague is going, coming out of turn number 4. Biller will make the left-hand turn into the pits. So here's our first taker. Sear comes down. Hightower, Lightning, Kukulon. And it's a very, very tight pit road entry, so got to be very careful coming into the pits. Everybody makes it in clean. So I'd expect Teague to come down this time. Sekela, Perez there, and Henderson on top of each other. Now Teague comes down. Sekela, Perez, Henderson make their way into the pits. Brock and Cruz, and Collins, a late entry, just barely gets into the pits. Vargas, though, is not going to make it in, and that will bring the caution out. That's what I was worried about happening. Vargas does not quite make it. And we're going to see another Gateway sort of situation. I believe we're going to see some cars at the tail end of the line that will actually be the leaders. Williams will come around and lead the way. Gordon second. And we'll see the order here in just a moment. Everything has gotten turned on its head here at the Milwaukee Mile as the second caution comes out for Christian Vargas, missing the pit entry and going into the end of the attenuator. And now we'll just wait to see what happens. Biller a lap down right now. McLeese a lap down. Thompson a lap down. And we're still seeing those cars that had yet to come in. They're coming in now. Samadillo had yet to come in, so he's going to jump up a few positions. This is going to be bad for Kyle McLeese, because McLeese is currently listed in the 26th position, and Samadillo had not come down yet. He's going to gain a ton of points now on McLeese unless another caution comes out and resets everything. So everybody gets ordered out, and obviously the big loser here, the dominant car of the race, Colin Teague, came down into the pits, and then the caution came out, and now Teague's actually listed in the 7th position, so we'll see what the standings say. So Williams comes out at the end of the pacing line. And then second, I believe, will be Elijah Gordon, but he'll have a little bit of traffic between himself and Andrew Williams. And is Thibodeau actually going to be third? Thibodeau going to be third. Upton, Samadillo, Lozano. I don't know. We'll see what the order is here as they come across the line. At the stripe it is Williams ahead of Gordon, Teague, Thibodeau, Upton, Samadillo, Troxel, Oskin, Lozano. 9 cars at the end of the pacing line that are actually the leaders. And then the rest of these cars are tail end of the lead lap. That's going to create havoc for the leaders. So we might see another gateway situation where we're going to see quite an interesting finish here at Milwaukee. We'll have to see how it goes down. But real quick, let's take one more look at what happened to Christian Vargas to set us up for what is going to be a barnstorming finish to the checkered flag here at the Milwaukee Mile. So not a whole lot to this one, just Vargas, a very late commitment into the pits, and he pays dearly for it with a heavy collision to the end of the pit attenuator, and that is going to send us into what is going to be a wild finish here at the Milwaukee Mile. No doubt about it. It's going to be a gateway sort of situation. Andrew Williams will lead us to the green flag here momentarily. Meanwhile, track is clear. We're good to go. So let's head to the restart here at Milwaukee. Deja vu all over again here. The Culver's 500K at Milwaukee. Here's the pace car. Kaden Billard's at the front of the pacing line, but he's not the leader. He's actually in 10th. 9 cars trail them. Andrew Williams leads the way. And 5 cars are a lap down. Thompson, Parker, Zidell, Wright, and Garcia. Elijah Gordon is second, as now Upton has an issue in the 78. As we're coming around to get the green flag, Scott Upton has a problem, and they will have to come into the pits. So Upton will fall back from 5th, move Samadillo up to 5th. Colin Teague, the dominant car of the race, sits 3rd, Thibodeau 4th. Samadillo will be 5th, and then Troxel, Oskin, and Lozano. Those are the cars that are left to battle for the win as the green flag comes out. Williams held up by the Nashville winner, John Andrews, and the lap cars will freight train on the inside lane. Gordon there in the 24, looking for some gateway redemption. McLeese in the 59 trying to gain as many positions as he can to keep Samadillo from closing in any further in the points battle. Gordon now put up to the high side. Williams down low, Teague down low. Gordon tries to take it 4 wide, heading off into 1. Not going to be able to. He'll get pinned on the outside. Williams down low, and 1 car is in between Andrew Williams and Colin Teague for the race lead. Scott Upton comes back out onto the racetrack from the pit area. Williams now down to the inside of Justin Zidell, who is now on the tail end of the lead lap in 33rd. Right in the 95 is a lap down. Into turn number 1 we go. And Wright trying to get down to the inside of the 50. This could help Colin Teague if Teague can get down there. Wright, again, looking to get to the inside of the 50, not able to. Jacob Thibodeau there in the middle of Oskin and Rose. Trying to play it safe right now. He's looking for some good points here. Oskin into the 3rd position. Teague there, 2nd. Teague again, the winner at Talladega earlier this year. Oskin won in the Hershey Park 312 at Dover. Now Andrew Williams leads the Culver's 500K in a situation again similar to the Bass Pro Shops Cabela's 500K at Gateway. Wright almost turned Williams around, coming around turn number 4. Now Wright's taking a look down to the inside of that 50 into 1. Oh, he slips! And now Teague is right against that 50 going through turn 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway there. Osgen and Garcia side by side, not for position. Osgen is third on the racetrack. Thibodeau fourth. Elijah Gordon in fifth. Now Colin Teague looking for the lead on Andrew Williams. 10 laps to go at Milwaukee. The cars ahead, pulling away from the leaders. Kyle McLeese currently sits in the 27th position. Now down to the inside of Brock Nelson, that is for 26th. As we cut back to the lead battle here. Williams, Teague, and Osgen on top of each other. 9 laps to go. Staying on that inside, Williams, great defense there in the 50. Teague, who's dominated this race, trying to keep one from slipping through his fingers. And Osgen looking for redemption of what has been a terrible season, at least for the most part. He has one bright shining spot, and that was Dover. But Trinity River Racing as a whole this season not doing that well at all. Osgen looking for something. Well, he's not going to win a championship, at least at this rate. Just the way the police has done, the way of other drivers have done. He's not looking for a championship now. He just wants to win races, and he is in he's in prime position to win one here at Milwaukee. Nicholas Samadio in that 4th position now, gets around the 32 of Jacob Thibodeau, but now Trey Wright gets the inside of Sam and Osgen. That will send Osgen backwards, not for another position, but just from the lead battle. And now Wright, if he gets to the inside of Teague, that may do it for Williams. It's just so hard to pass on this racetrack, as we've seen. Not a whole lot of passing for the lead, but Williams up front, Teague trying to stay there with him, and Wright just trying to get back on the lead lap, slips up in turn 1 and 2. Osgen now trying to power to the inside of the 97 of Teague. Is he going to push right around the 50? This could be a prime chance for Sam and Osgen to take their lead away here at Milwaukee. Right down to the inside. Teague and Osgen side by side now for second. Williams still leads the way. Teague will clear Sam and Osgen for second. Tries to cut to the inside. Not able to. Or he will cut to the inside, but not to the inside of Williams. But now at 4.5 laps to go, they're running out of time, running out of opportunities. 4 to go this time. Williams still leads. Teague, Osgen, Samadio, and Thibodeau. As Brock Nelson slow on the front straightaway, heading off into 1. That was tight between him and Thomas Troxel. Troxel now looking for a 5th position there on Jacob Thibodeau, and for the lead, Teague's taking a look into 3. Still not able to get to the inside of that number 50. Williams pulls ahead through corner number 3 and corner number 4. 3 to go. Samadio tries to get to the inside of Osgen. He's looking for a podium. His teammate Colin Teague just ahead of him. Down the back straightaway. Kyle McLeese now runs 22nd on the racetrack. Samadio is going to be able to gain a bunch of points on McLeese if he can Sanford and Sung it home for 2 more laps. 2/10 separate Colin Teague and Andrew Williams. Teague can see the 50 right there, but he may have blown his chance earlier. Now Samadio is going to cross to the inside of Teague, and that may do it for Andrew Williams. As we're coming around for the white flag, Samadio tries to move into second, but the white flag's going to come out for Andrew Williams in the 50. One more time around the Milwaukee Mile. And a home state driver, Andrew Williams, down the back straightaway, looking for a second career Trinity River Cup Series win. through turn 3 and 4, and onto the front straightaway. The winless streak for Andrew Williams comes to a close in the Culver's 500K at Milwaukee. Andrew Williams wins. Teague second, Samadeo third, Oskin fourth, Troxel fifth, Jacob Thibodeau sixth, Gordon seventh, Lozano eighth, and Biller trying to hold on for ninth. Sears looking for a top 10, and indeed, they will finish ninth and 10th. But your Cohen Racing Enterprises, Andrew Williams, and Teague. Oh, that's just insult to injury. Dominate the race and then slam into the pit barrier at the end of it. But Andrew Williams comes away with a victory. Samadeo with a podium finish there in the 98. And Kyle McLeese finishes back in the 23rd position. Samadeo is going to be now within 60 points of Kyle McLeese's point lead. This is getting spicy. As we get on here, as we get later on in the season, this point lead continues to shrink. We'll see if McLeese can hold on to it and still come away with a championship. We all but started etching his name on that championship trophy. It's not over yet, folks. We still got 7 races left after this. We'll have to see how it goes. We'll take a look at your race finishing results now. Andrew Williams wins with an average race speed of 105.32 miles per hour. Finishes ahead of Colin Teague, Nicholas Samadeo there in third, rounding off the podium. Oskin fourth. Thomas Troxel comes home with the top 5. And then Jacob Thibodeau, Elijah Gordon, Alex Lozano, Kanan Biller, and Paul-Antoine Sierre round out the top 10. Scrolling through the rest of your standings, only 31 cars finishing on the lead lap. Garcia, Parker, Upton, Rose, Parrish, Harris, and Nelson finishing off the lead pace. Nelson finishing 3 laps down, and the only cars unable to finish the race, Christian Vargas and Roberto Crown Jr., both with separate incidents. Christian Vargas hit the pit attenuator coming into that second pit cycle, which brought out the second caution, and Roberto Crown Jr. crashed at the end of lap 1 in a very hard collision to the outside wall. That's going to do it here at Milwaukee. Big congratulations to Andrew Williams, home state driver, coming away with the dub for Cohen Racing Enterprises and owner Owen Miles. We'll take a look now at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we'll wrap it all up here in Milwaukee. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.